If you're looking to make solar simple, give Ron Domenico with AD Energy a call. All-day energy made simple. Solar solutions with zero down, options to lease or finance, and roofs and trees are no issue. Call Ron Domenico at 609-226-2802 and tell him you saw him on the Sports Box.
Well, hello again and welcome to the show that saves you from signing up for AAR page for just a little longer. This is the Sports Box. The only opinion that matters. It's right here. I am like a lot of AK half to like my partner, Brian, the Ranger Tar. If you can see what just almost happened, that would be funny. But anyway, Brian, how are you?
I'm good.
Calm now.
Nothing flew back at me. So
we almost lost a big prop, folks. That would have been bad. Today we are going to talk about the NHL playoffs compared to the NBA playoffs. Now, obviously, two different sports, and all the time we hear it being hockey guys about NHL never being watched and NBA being watched. But in the same sense, if you look at the NBA playoffs right now, they've been terrible. You talk about sweep after sweep. Two teams basically from the East and the West moving on, knowing that even when the playoffs first started, that nobody was going to beat them. But then you look at the NHL playoffs and you look at all the overtimes. You look at there's only been, I think, 3 blowouts the whole entire time in the playoffs. Nashville's in, which you never thought. We almost picked against them the entire time. The Predators are in.
I did.
You got small market teams getting in. You got a lot of action. Guys getting, I don't want to say guys getting hurt is enjoyment, but I mean just banging at both ends. There's been a couple fights. I mean, Brian, the NHL is really winning in this situation the way of ratings.
I'm reminded of a Sports Illustrated cover back in the glorious year of 1994 when the Rangers won the Stanley Cup.
Glorious.
Where it was a picture of Mike Richter making a save for the Rangers, why the NHL saw it and why the NBA is not, and it is truer than ever right now. Again, and we talked a lot about this for you guys who've been watching the show. We had a little show about the idea of resting players in the NBA season. I had made the point that really the NBA season is irrelevant. Well, you know what? So are the first 3 rounds of the playoffs apparently, because this has been a fait accompli the entire time. It was always going to be Golden State and Cleveland. At the time of the filming, it's 3-1 Cleveland and Golden State's already in. So guess what? Here we are. I'm going to go ahead and go on the limb and say Cleveland probably wins one of the next 3 games. And we're going to put them in the finals right now.
Yeah.
This was always going to be this way. You look at the converse side of the NHL. Nashville was the worst record to make the playoffs, and they're in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yep.
Okay? I've literally, and again, I know hockey, or at least I claim to, and I've picked against them 3 consecutive rounds, and they're in the finals.
And you still won't give them respect.
Well, we haven't gotten to the finals.
Well, I mean,
again,
Ottawa.
as a filming, we're going to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals, so we'll see what happens there. But it's just, you even look at the East. Like, you look at the big powerhouse teams, right? Washington didn't make it very far. The teams that actually won their divisions, 2 of them were out in the first round.
Minnesota.
Another one's out in the second round, and the other one's out in the third round.
Yeah.
No, you're thinking of second place teams. Anaheim got to the conference finals.
Which I went on the road that bandwagon for a while.
The Caps out in the second round. Montreal and Chicago out in round 1.
Yep.
So what was the
good teams like Minnesota and Edmonton still out too. But I will say, just getting the NHL 1 second, I'm a little worried for Game 7. Only because if it ends up being Ottawa and Nashville, that is Gary Bettman's worst nightmare. 2 small market teams, there might be 7 people watching them, and 2 of them might be me and you.
Way more people watch the Sport Box than will watch Nashville Ottawa.
This is a situation I don't want to say is a conspiracy, but I think Pittsburgh you might see go on the power play a little bit more often in Game 7, and there might be a lot let go in the way of the Ottawa side. I think they're going to try to lean towards Pittsburgh, give them an edge, get them in, because if Pittsburgh-Nashville gets in, you're going to have a lot more viewing than Nashville-Ottawa. Just saying. Go Senators.
But to kind of stick back to the NBA playoffs, I see a lot of people talk about how, look at how dominant the Cavs are. Dude, they're playing crap teams, man.
The East
call it what it is, though.
You want to say Toronto's a good team, you're wrong. You want to say Boston's a good team, they don't match up against Cleveland. This Cleveland team is a powerhouse team in an Eastern Conference, which is sad. Sad. Okay?
It's no sadder than the West.
There's 7 teams in the East that can't play with anybody.
People look at the West.
Well, you look at the West, you look at Houston, try to hang on for a little while, but then Harden kept small in the last game. Don't want to blame it all on him, but that was Houston. Houston maybe had the best shot. But after that, the Spurs, once they lost Kawhi Leonard, they were done.
Golden State hasn't lost a game.
No, Golden State hasn't lost a game. They're just rolling along and, this and that.
So to circle back to a point I made months ago, if you're a Golden State Warriors fan, you really care that Steph Curry was sitting games and Kevin Durant was sitting games? You don't care at all.
No.
Because it doesn't matter.
Yep.
It doesn't matter.
And all you're going to hear is if Golden State does beat Cleveland, Kevin Durant had to go to his super team and all. We're going to get another episode about that whole thing, but I think that's a joke. But anyway, bottom line is I think the NHL playoffs have been phenomenal, even though I'm a hockey guy, I'm not saying I'm being totally objective. If anybody's been watching NHL playoffs, they have been very, very good compared to the NBA playoffs, which have all been basically sweeps. I haven't got a chance to see a team because it's sweep managers so fast.
Well, no, but you know what it is, and I got to tell you something. You know, I think NBA fans kind of feel it, right?
Yeah.
So to me, you see a lot of these keyboard warriors. They get online, right? And they go, oh, look how great LeBron is. Oh, look how great the playoffs have been. You're playing defense because you know your playoffs are terrible.
Yep.
Period. You know, again, I'm not going to stand for this nonsense.
Again, you're not going to stand for it.
I am not.
That's good for you. So, well, that's all the time we have for the NBA versus the NHL playoffs. Keep an eye out. We always have good stuff coming. And remember, you can always get us like flies on poopy on social media. Everywhere.
You know, we've actually not analyzed how important we are to Facebook and their success. But I'm going to say it's probably like at least a good percentage, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, how much ad revenue is YouTube getting off the sports box?
Oh,
it's crazy.
A ton. Isn't Mark Zuckerberg coming here next week from Facebook?
Well, actually, I told him we weren't available, so he might have to reschedule that.
Yeah.
But we love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting our show. Really do appreciate it. But if you want to make sure you're following us on social media, you got to know where to find us. And some of you, I'm sure, already do. It's at Sportsbox Show. When you're on Twitter or Facebook, you can find us there very, very easily. And, of course, the YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed here. See those numbers keep growing and growing and join the party. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And if you want to send some popsicles for my kids to stop them from crying, I'd really appreciate that. But we'll keep the sound effects going.
I got to tell you, it's funny, though.
It is. We're like great actors here because we hear like horror stories upstairs and we're trying to get it first.
If you look at my face sometimes, you hear like a big one. Like you see me like, you know.
You hear stuff drop. You hear kids getting dragged across the floor. Oh, it's great. It's a good time here.
Listen, our production budget is what it is. The more subscribers we get, maybe we'll grow that.
Maybe we'll get some soundproof drywall for down here.
Support the show.
We'll get some soundproof drywall down here. We'll have a good time with it. Anyway, thank you for watching. Keep an eye out. Comment in. Please let us know what you're thinking. And remember, at the Sports Box, the only opinion that matters is right here. Thanks for watching. See you.
This episode of the Sports Box is brought to you by Mic'd Up Entertainment and DJ Mike Velardi. For all of your event planning needs, make sure you contact Mike at 609-864-5925 and tell him that you saw him on the Sports Box.
1, 2, 3.
Don't forget to subscribe.